Hello. Hi. It's it's me. I'm back. I know, it's crazy. So anyways, today we're gonna go over stasis keywords. Gotta get the stasis stuff done. I got like 2 weeks. I need to be hightailing it on this stuff. And yes, I'm still gonna do the heavy weapon breakdown pre final shape, hopefully. Alright, so keywords for stasis. Right? First one, bam. Stasis shard. Alright, you can read the information up top, but basically, stasis shards are created through using aspects. Each one of the characters have a different aspect. It's some sort of aspect of harvest. It's like tectonic harvest, etc., where you do a thing to make these little shards, these crystal-looking things that float in the air. They naturally give you melee energy. Depending on the thing that you kill, you can get a small or a larger shard, which will give you more or less melee energy. This melee energy applies for all of the people in your fire team because you don't create stasis shards for just yourself like you do with all of the sprites from all the other subclasses. I call them all sprites. It just makes it easier for me to keep up with. But all the other sprites from other subclasses, this one makes the sprite or the stasis shard in this instance for you. There are also a bunch of other things that these shards can do or give you based off your subclass. There was literally hours ago some information given us by Bungie that will adjust the way that these things work with specific adjustments to fragments and so on and so forth. But I will just do a video later on that because I'm not cool enough to redo footage of this sort of thing to adjust stuff. So, bam, stasis shards. Next thing, this is going to get destroyed. Yes, this is the same video. Shut up. No, it's not. I'm just slow. Sorry, it mean for no reason. So, stasis overshards. Stasis overshard, the way it works currently, is basically the exact same way that stasis, not stasis, but void overshield works. They've decided to go with something different. I guess I will mention it here. It's like frost armor. It's gonna have a different functionality. It's gonna work differently. It's like a mix between void overshield and woven mail. It's gonna be kind of a balance between the two. Um, so we won't really get into overshield anymore. Currently, the only thing that's important is that when you uh, use a certain fragment, you can pick up these shards, and then they'll give you some overshield. That's the important part. Next, we go on to slow. Slow. Think of stasis similarly to how you think of solar, but in reverse. So you stack up slow to get to a freeze, where then you can deal damage to the target by yourself. That will cause an explosion. That is called shatter. That also interacts with different things. Yeah, slow makes it where the combatant has a harder time aiming. They obviously move slower. Their abilities proc slower. Everything that they do is just slower, and they have worse aim as well. Um, yeah, it's actually really potent in PvP as well because of the different nerfs that it gives people in PvP. I'm not really going to go over that here because mainly want to do PvE stuff, but yeah, it's good and important. So that's slow. Now, we're going to get to freeze. I had some lag issues here, but whatever. Freeze. You see the opponent here, he is frozen. He cannot move. While they're in that state, obviously they cannot move. This only applies to targets that are freezable, which is basically anything that is not a boss tier combatant. Um, Dealing damage to this target will cause them to shatter, which we will get to in another thingy. But basically just freezing them works the way you expect it to. It's really good for what it sounds like it's good for. And then we have stasis crystals. The way that I created this one is through using some aspects and an exotic, but you can also make them through a perk called Headstone by getting headshot kills on targets with a weapon with Headstone. You will create this stasis crystal. You can also create them through grenades. Glacier grenades also make stasis crystals. These stasis crystals, when they erect, if there's something nearby 'em, you can instantly freeze. Also, if they're not that close, you can slow. That might just be a PvP thing, but I know that you can slow targets in PvP with when you erect those crystals. Also, when you shoot the crystals, just like when you shoot a frozen combatant, you will cause a shatter. Shatter does a certain amount of damage. This will be buffed. I will mention the buff here. It does a base of 200 damage. That base is doubled in the final shape to 400 damage. Just helps with ad clear because shatter can directly deal damage to other enemies within a certain radius that I'm not exactly sure of, and I don't think anybody is, to be honest. Um, Shatter damage also stuns unstoppables, so that's good as well. So that means that oh, I forgot to mention slow stuns overloads. So those are the champions you can deal with. You can deal with overloads. You can also deal with unstoppables. Also, if you freeze an anti-barrier, the moment that they're trying to pull up their shield, they won't pull up their shield, and you should be able to do enough burst damage to kill them before they can use it. So stasis is really good against champions as well, just naturally. It just kind of works. Um, which is good. And those are all the stasis keywords. As you can see, stasis is not super complicated, but it's really good. Also, this helps me make a shorter video, so I'm going to make this be a video. And then the next video you see me in will involve going over the grenades. Ooh, grenades and stuff. And then we'll go over fragments. And then after going over the fragments, you know, whatever. You know how this works. Thanks. Later.